Ms. Bedolla, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Report of committees, Resource Committee.
Resource Committee, we met this evening and approved our minutes from our last meeting. Bob gave us an update on the capital update on plan. He updated us on some budget items, and we agreed on to approve the superintendent's recommendations tonight on funding $52,000, $300,000. Oh, 52 million. 52 million. So that's where we are on that.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Anything else from?
Any comments?
Yep.
How about school personnel? You were going to take that
Yes,
as well, Mr. Stevens.
We have finalized with the cafeteria workers, and we're waiting on them for their contract, for them to vote on it, and hopefully we will have that to come forward at the next school committee meeting. And we met with the cafeteria managers yesterday, and that went very well, and we're finalizing that, and so we should be in pretty good shape for all of our contracts.
Will that will complete them all? Thank you for that report and the hard work. Appreciate it. No need for executive session. Is there any new business?
How about policy?
That you?
Well, it would be Sally, but just want to let
You
people know-
have some information? Yes,
Yes,
please.
that the meeting that was scheduled for this Thursday has been canceled and a new time to be determined.
Okay. Questions?
Just at the relay races Thursday, there was a rain date.
Right.
Yes.
And that's why the policy meeting, because Jeremy and all the principals and everybody will be at the relay races, which looks like it's going to be a spectacular day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's at 6.
At 6, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe on the new business, or it would come up under suspension of the rules. Under our meeting tonight of the Resource Committee, Mr. Jokela had Matt Shotsleeves here from Solar Energy, and we need to vote on suspension of the rules. I can read that now. Recommend the city proceed to execute a procedure power agreement with Solar Elect Energy to purchase power from Select Energy under a 20-year agreement from solar rooftop arrays located at Rheingold Elementary School, Memorial Middle School, and potentially Fitchburg High School. And we need to vote on that tonight under suspension of the rules because we did not know at this time that it was going to come forward.
Mr. Jokel, you want to report something on this? Can you give us a little bit more background on it?
Yeah, so the city and the school department have had discussions with Select Energy, and they had some updated calculations, estimates for us. And given that I wanted to educate the school committee that the changes, although minor, want to make sure everybody was on board before we submit it to the city for the next stage of the discussions, because as we already have a letter of intent with Select, their updated pro forma statements is really about an $8,000 difference, and the difference is really only because if the net metering, if we don't get our applications in on time with Unitil and the net metering cap is taken up by other applicants, there's an $8,000 difference in projected year one savings. So it would go from $86,000 to about $78,000 for Memorial and Rheingold. So those two projects are, I'll say fast track, but they've started the application process on those two facilities. And again, to give us full disclosure and under the letter of intent, it still had to make sense for however the landscape changed with regard to the state changing the regulation and guidelines on solar purchase power agreements, net metering, the SRECs, all that, it still made sense. So the resource subcommittee agreed that it still makes sense. It's in our best interest. And if we can save $78,000 in year one on our electricity, those are funds that can be reallocated to
78,000?
the first year. And the savings would gradually increase because
And these are rooftop arrays?
These are rooftop
And these
arrays.
have already been approved structurally and whatnot?
structurally here at Memorial, and they have to, Select has to do a little bit more due diligence at Rheingold, but they don't see a problem. But again, they still have to complete some of their engineering, but they have all the information on the roofs that were put on. These are new roofs both here and at Rheingold, so
Okay,
things are moving forward.
great. Questions? Thank you, Mr. Jokel. So we need to take a vote? Is there a vote required here?
Yes, we're going to have to vote to enter an agreement with Solar
Okay.
Energy.
Select.
Yeah, recommend, for the city to execute, a
All right.
PPA.
Do I hear a motion to accept the
We
proposal?
have to vote this in as an,
Make a motion to add this.
Well, we have to suspend the rules. Is that what it is?
Suspend the rules, yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
aye.
All right, rules have been suspended, so now we take up the vote to
Enter an
enter into
agreement.
an agreement with Select Energy,
Select Energy.
with the city of Fitchburg and the school department.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye. We make a motion
Oh,
first?
make a motion,
Make a
sorry.
motion?
Yep, motion made, second, and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. It is unanimous. Thank you. Unfinished business from previous meetings, is that anything we need to discuss? Seeing none. Communications? Superintendent, no? Okay. A public comment? I don't think the public is here tonight. No offense. Superintendent's reports, student highlights? Nope. Okay. Recognitions, none. Communications, none. District and school performance, none. Discussion items. Budget items, FY17 final budget presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of you received your budget workbook, and just for people at home, what that, and so that they know what is included in this, is there's basically the Accelerated Improvement Plan, which is a framework that we have with the state that kind of determines where we spend our money and how we do to improve the district. And then you've got reports by all of the different departments, from special education to human resources. Then there's a budget narrative from each of our schools. And then a section 7 is all demographic information. And then the budget presentation PowerPoint that everyone saw is a part of the book. And then finally, the Munis document, where we take the $52,300,000 and divide it up into all of the schools and personnel and other areas. So you've had the book now for a couple of days. Are there any questions that you have about anything that you've seen in the budget?
Yes.
I don't have a question so much as a comment. I just wanted to say thank you to Bob Jokel. I think this is really an impressive document, and there's everything in there that you need to know. So, well done.
Any other questions? I want to echo that as well, Bob. Great job on the budget, particularly given some of the surrounding communities and the difficulties they've encountered given the union contracts that we've gone through, and to come in with a balanced budget throughout all of that is a credit certainly to you and the superintendent, as well as the school committee and the entire staff of the Fitchburg Public School System. Thank you so much.
And I will say that, there's still some grants that haven't come through yet because they come through in the summer. As you know, the House cut the kindergarten from $18 million to $2 million. I then called and contacted Senator Flanagan. There was caucusing that day, and they're working on the joint budget. I'm pretty sure, I think the at least that amount, if not more, was put back in,
Restore it.
restored. And Roanne went to a full day a meeting all day today on full day kindergarten. She didn't come home back disturbed. So there are two issues. One is there are two issues. One is the funding, and then the other one is how that money is allocated. Because you could retain the funding and then change the way it's going to be allocated. But I saw her; she didn't say anything different. So that's really the only outstanding piece that's out there. But
Right.
you know, we're ready for that. Should that have to change?
Just a
Yeah.
comment.
Yes, Mr. Stevens, yep.
I think Pittsburgh, we should also thank the mayor for allocating the money for a net school spending. We're there, and the city council has been very supportive of education, and I think that shows the direction that Pittsburgh heading in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Can I just make one
Yes,
comment
Bob,
before-
sure.
I guess just to thank all of you for your comments, and I think what really makes it work here is the cabinet staff, the principals, the directors, and certainly people on the city side, mayor included, to really make it that we are one team. We work very well with the city on many issues, whether it be the city finance team or, in other instances, the DPW on other matters. But the city finance team, we have a very great relationship, and that's not true in all communities. So that makes it easier for us. Thank you.
I'm going to ask if there's any public testimony, but I don't, as I mentioned earlier, I don't see anyone requesting that. So we move forward with the action item, number 16-678, 15-16, support the superintendent's recommendation for the $52,300,000 FY17 school budget, department budget, funded by the city appropriation.
I'll make a motion, we accept the superintendent's recommendation.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you. There is no need for executive session.
Motion for adjournment.
There's a motion made,
Second.
seconded for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Tonight, Mr. Mayor.